This summer, the Lakers added Jake LaRavia and Marcus Smart to their roster, which will certainly help bolster their wing depth. Adding wings was clearly a focal point for Los Angeles. They said LaRavia was their first call during free agency, and bringing in Smart and drafting fellow wing Adou Thiero are all indicators that the Lakers want as many quality players in that position as possible. However, everyone they added has flaws and is far from a perfect option. LaRavia has yet to establish himself as a consistently dependable impact player. Smart is a great defender, but aging and has missed many games the last 2 seasons. Thiero is a rookie. So, it's not surprising that in his latest newsletter, NBA insider Mark Stein has stated that the Lakers are still looking for wings they can trade for. What is an interesting revelation, however, is the Lakers appearing to be more willing to take on long-term contracts to acquire a wing that can help them win now. As I understand it, the Lakers' reluctance in the early stages of the offseason to consider trades for contracts that stretch beyond the 2025-26 season has thawed somewhat. I don't think that means they'll swing a deal for just anyone between now and the February 5th trade deadline, but league sources say LA would indeed have interest in adding a two-way swingman who can raise their ceiling. From the Lakers' perspective, to take on long-term contracts, the player they are acquiring would likely have to be the missing piece needed to make Los Angeles a title contender. That type of player is hard to trade for and would likely have multiple teams interested. Still, making trades to improve the team is the job the Lakers front office has, and it's good to hear that they are willing to execute that kind of deal if it becomes possible. Again, it takes 2 teams to trade, so we'll see if that level of wing ends up on the market and if the asking price makes sense. Kawhi Leonard's decision in 2019 to spurn the Los Angeles Lakers for their crosstown rivals, the Clippers, had little to do with money. Instead, it came down to one person, LeBron James. According to Bruce Arthur of the Toronto Star, Leonard didn't want to play with LeBron James, so the Lakers were a third wheel in the sweepstakes. At the time, Leonard was the NBA's premier player, fresh off leading the Toronto Raptors to their first championship by defeating a Golden State Warriors team that had dominated James during his second stint in Cleveland. The Raptors, Lakers, and the Clippers were in a 3-way race to sign Leonard. Lakers' miss becomes blessing in disguise. James joined the Lakers after winning 1 title in 4 finals appearances with the Cavaliers from 2015 to 2018, seeking a co-star to end Los Angeles' title drought. The Lakers pursued Leonard aggressively, but 6 years later, one league executive told Lakers Daily that missing out may have saved the team from years of headaches. The Lakers wanted Kawhi badly, the executive said. Boy, they dodged a massive bullet by not landing him. You think Rich, Paul, and LeBron are hard to deal with? Uncle Dennis Robertson, is even worse. He thinks Kawhi is the second coming of Jesus. Instead of pairing with James, Leonard signed with the Clippers and recruited fellow Los Angeles native Paul George via the now infamous blockbuster sign-and trade with Oklahoma City that landed the Thunder's future MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Clippers owner, Steve Ballmer, one of the wealthiest in the league, backed the deal. Cap circumvention controversy. Now, Leonard and the Clippers are under NBA investigation over allegations that a $28 million endorsement deal with the now-bankrupt company Aspiration may have circumvented the salary cap. A whistleblower on the Pablo Torre Finds Out podcast claimed the payments were structured to skirt NBA rules. The Clippers have denied any wrongdoing, stating they severed ties with Aspiration in 2023 after the company defaulted on obligations. Neither Mr. Ballmer nor the Clippers circumvented the salary cap or engaged in any misconduct related to Aspiration, the team said in a statement. The NBA investigation could carry severe penalties, including fines, suspension of executives, loss of draft picks, and potentially voiding Leonard's contract, according to The Athletic. Leonard himself could face fines of up to $350,000 and may have to return money tied to the deal unless he proves ignorance of any violation. Leonard's Lakers alternative versus reality. At the time, Leonard's uncle and top advisor, Dennis Robertson, made unusual demands, including partial team ownership, a private jet, and guaranteed off-court endorsement income, The Athletic reported. The Lakers ultimately turned their attention elsewhere, acquiring Anthony Davis later that summer. While James and Davis delivered a championship in 2020, Leonard's tenure with the Clippers has been marked by long injury layoffs and limited availability. The guy barely plays, doesn't market the team he's on, and now he's in the news for the wrong reasons for the second time since signing with the Clippers, the executive said. For the Lakers, the near miss on Leonard in 2019 has aged like a stroke of fortune. A new report opens the door even wider to Trey Young taking his talents to the Los Angeles Lakers or Chicago Bulls next summer. The long-term outlook for Trey Young in Atlanta is murky at the minimum at this point, ESPN NBA insider Tim McMahon reported on the Hoop Collective. This is a guy who has been the face of the Atlanta Hawks for 7 years. He's averaged 25 and 10. Just led the league in assists. His offensive production has been elite. Trey Young's stats: 24.2 PPG, 3.1 RPG, 11.6 APG, 1.2 SPG, 34% 3 points. But there are question marks about whether this is going to, be a long-term marriage. I get taking a cautious approach to committing to Trey Young as a maximum salaried face of a franchise if you're trying to put together a contender. Young has 2 years left on the 5-year, $215 million extension he got in 2022. However, next season is a player option, and there has been a lot of speculation that he can opt out to, arguably, be the top free agent available next summer. Could Trey Young be in play for the Los Angeles Lakers or Chicago Bulls next summer? Trey Young can be knocked for his limited success in the NBA playoffs and defensive deficiencies. But there is no doubt he is an elite offensive player. He has averaged over 25 points and nearly 10 assists per game for his career. So, he will have many suitors for his talents on the open market. If he opts out of his deal next summer, the Lakers have been linked to a potential Trey Young trade in recent years. However, when the Hawks traded DeJounte Murray before last season, it looked like the team chose to go forward with the 5th overall pick in 2018, and the trade rumors died after a strong showing last season. While they have an elite ball handler with Luka Doncic, the superstar has shown in the past that he likes playing with an elite scoring guard in the backcourt, see Jalen Brunson and Kyrie Irving. Furthermore, various signs point to the Lakers having a good amount of cap space available next summer. The Bulls are also expected to have a lot of cap space in summer 2026. They are likely to re-sign guard Josh Giddey this year. But they lack an elite go-to scorer after moving on from Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan over the last year. Young would be that, and also hurt a division rival if he signed with Chicago next summer.